So we just covered reading files. Now we're going to cover writing files. So this is taking some text and writing it to a file or saving it as a file. So we have just as we have a function called open, we have a function called write. So first thing we're going to do is specify the name of the file that we're going to write to. And so that we're going to call it lesson06_output.txt, and this is going to be stored as this variable out file. And then we're going to just for the purposes of this example, I've typed this limerick, and we're going to save the 3 lines of this limerick. Actually, it's 5 lines, but there's a new line character here and here, and this should render it as 5 lines when we print it, because those will be set as new line characters. So the most basic way to write a file is we first open the file to write. So instead of doing an R in quotes, we do a W, and we store that as this variable that's going to be called target, which is similarly, it's this IO kind of object. We do target.write and then the name of the line, and then we're going to add a new line. So we're going to add a new line after that, and then line 2, and then another new line, and then line 3, and then another new line, and then we're going to close the file. So once we execute that, we have now saved this file to our computer. Does anyone know where that file is going to be saved? Which directory? Which folder? So good idea. It's not in data because by default it's still going to be relative to our current directory. So the current directory is still lessons, and so the out file is just this string. So it's just saying out file is this thing. We're not giving it any other path information. So it's just going to be saved in the current directory, which is our lessons folder. So if we go, we can go either to the terminal here, we can go here, or we can also just go to this tab that we made here. And this happens to already be in lessons. So if we type ls, we can see we have this file lesson06_output.txt. And from here we could even do cat lesson06_output. And you can see that it wrote the file, and it looks like we expected. So we have new line characters that were in the lines 1 and 2, like here and here, but also the ones that we added here, here, and here. So and then let's see, hopefully this works. Yeah. So this is the same kind of object, this text IO. So I is input, O is output. So IO is input output. And this is just an object that allows us to read and write text to a file. Question?
When you say target right and you put a new line,
Mm-hmm.
could you have just put that new line at the end of each line 1, 2, and 3?
I believe so. Let's try that. I think it would be like this. No, it's not possible. So,
Oh no, I meant when you define line 1, 2, and 3 above.
oh yeah,
That would be
correct. But the thing is, maybe you don't. Yeah. If you had a new line already on the end of under that line, then yes. but I didn't. So yeah. And again, we can use a with block to simplify things, and we don't have to close it when we're done with it. So we can say with open out file w as target, and then the same thing here. And that will just, what that did was just overwrote the file. So it's yeah, you can see that timestamp 9. Blah, 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 blah. Let's do this one. ls. That timestamp 9:54 is the current time. So we just created that file again with the same name and same content. Also, a little pandas preview again here. So the data frame df contains the woodchuck text from above. So remember, at the end of this lesson, we stored this text as this thing called df, which is just a variable that stands for data frame. And so we're going to use this function of a data frame called toCSV. So this is going to create a comma-separated values of the woodchucks file, and we're going to call that thing lesson 06 output pandas. And then we can also create a tab-separated values. It uses the same function toCSV, but we specify a separator as \t for tab. So now if we go to our lessons, you see we created these two new files, and we can see that it's basically just taking this structure here, which it automatically added indexes for the rows and the column names. This is because it's expecting to be kind of a data frame. But the main idea is that it's a very simple command that allows us to export text. Now again, with the text file, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but assuming that you're working with data files, this would be a lot more relevant and useful. So you can see that there are commas here separating the indexes and the indexes from the content, and here there are tab characters. Okay, so for the last, let me take a quick break here.